Good morning, guys. Welcome to episode 6 of the Auction House podcast. We're going to try something a little different today. I have some things I want to talk about specifically, and it was brought to my attention that I kind of ramble a lot, so I'm going to try to be more to the point on some things and actually have I've got next to me a little bit of a dialogue I want to go over. Um, First of all, the one thing that I've noticed, and this is going to affect everybody as far as the silver market goes, these BCA silvers, how BCA is affecting the market. Obviously, in the obvious ways, you've got the elites that are affecting other players' prices, and now going forward, we still only have the defensive players. I'm not sure when the release is going to be for the offensive players, if that's going to be today or not. But on an opposite note, the silvers that are coming out of this BCA packs, the solos, they are negatively affecting the price of some of the silvers as far as the base cards go. So in the past couple weeks, I've been on the regularly been able to sell Viking silvers for 1,500, 1,800 coins. Well, now Terrence Newman is flooding the market, and it has brought down the price of Viking silvers down to about 750. I'd say that's a fair assessment of what I've been seeing on the market, on the auction house the last couple of days. So that as far as your coin making methods, you may have to go through and find other teams to use to snipe, to try to flip for some extra coin. Kind of a bummer because I'm guessing we're gonna see some Cardinal silvers, or maybe even possibly some Rams silvers that could negatively affect the price of the silvers for the Team Hero sets. And that's something that we'll have all year long. Something will come out that'll negatively affect prices on stuff, and that's just something we have to deal with and move along from that. Now, something that was brought to my attention, people were saying, well, maybe you should go over why some of these silvers and bronzes are going for so much. Well, there's a couple different reasons. For instance, my Lions, they have only 6 bronzes. It's a low number. There's not very many bronze Lions players. So if you're doing the Team Hero sets, there's only a specific number of players that you can add to the set, because you can add the same player multiple times. But with only 6 options to choose from, that makes their prices stay relatively high. And as of this morning, they were around 3,800 to 4,000 coins apiece. That's something that, if you are sniping, it's something to keep on your mind, that this team only has X amount of bronzes. So if I focus on that, but once again, with that being said, if you're focused on it, that means other people are going to be focusing on it. Another reason why we can see increase the prices of these silver and bronze players is because the Team Hero is actually worth having. And what I mean by actually worth having is their stats are good enough to be a starter on your team at this point, or EA has continuously added some of these players, whether it's Team Heroes or the Joe Hayden card, to the milestone sets. So previously, the Team Hero card, you're like, if you got a Team Hero and you play with them for a while or whatever, and you upgraded or you didn't like them, you were stuck with them. You had to add it to one of the one of the elite trade-in sets or whatever. You couldn't sell it. But now with adding these milestone sets for these Team Heroes, you can go ahead and make the player, snipe them, whatever, snipe the pieces for them. If you don't like them, excuse me, you can go ahead and put them on the auction house now if you've got all of the milestone collectibles to do the set. So that's keeping the price of some of those teams up there. Jacksonville, for instance, you can get TJ Yeldon and then put him in the milestone and get the dual chem for him. So that's something to keep an eye on as far as moving forward. Some of these non-auctionable cards or cards, like I said, that may out outlast. I don't know what I'm looking for. They may no longer be viable starters, is what I'm trying to say. You're going to replace them with somebody else. But if they do have the milestone set for them, you now go from a bum taking up a binder spot to being able to turn around and sell them. So that's something that we have to keep an eye on, like I said, moving forward, to see who all they add in there to maximize your coins being made. The other thing I want to talk about is Team of the Week. And I talked about this last week, and I talked about it on my post I had made with my last week's video. I was buying John Kuhn at like 3,000-4,000 coins and just selling them for like 6,000. As of over the weekend, John Kuhn was selling between 12 and 13,000 coins. He's a very good starting fullback on most squads. So going forward into today with the new Team of the Week release, you guys have to be paying attention for cards because people are going to rip today. But you've got to be paying attention for cards that are going to have a really, really low bottom and a really high ceiling. You know, even Steve Smith. I pulled Steve Smith from the exchange pack, and he was being sold for like 21,000 when people were really ripping packs. This morning, about 20 minutes before I made this video, as a matter of fact, he was being sold for 32. I sold him for 32,000 coins. So once again, I talked to you guys about this before. I'm not really an investment guy, but some of these cards you have to look at on release day, on the day shortly following release day, and it's risky. I understand that, but if it's something that you've got some coins laying around and you want to try to maximize your profit on some of these cards, you may be able to pick them up super cheap, especially immediately following release when people are really, really grinding and going after the packs. And now with the new gauntlet, there's more packs involved. So even the no money spent guys, there are still options for pack pulls. I mean, if you look on the subreddit, you know, guys look every day probably. There are a lot of people that are getting elite pulls or Team of the Week pulls out of these gauntlet packs. So there are a lot of ways to acquire these cards. And like I said, that's just something to keep an eye on. Also, Mutt Guru posted this morning on Twitter that he went to the Browns game, that he saw one of the Team of the Week players in person. So coming forward here, we're going to see, I'm guessing Tom Brady. First game back, 400 plus yards. I think 3 touchdowns to Martellus Bennett. If it wasn't for Bennett getting a Football Outsiders last week, I think we'd be seeing another one of him today too. But once again, I mean, speculation goes, you know, so Tom Brady. As a Lions fan, I really hope we see a Darius Slay coming out today. But we'll have to wait and see a couple more hours here to see when the content drops of what we exactly have. Also, over the weekend, we had Legend Packs. Legend Packs are a really good time. I know a lot of you guys watching this are like, shut up, but we know. But I do this for everybody. So, Legend Packs are a really good time to get the gold players relatively cheap. I missed out like 4 or 5 snipes of Kevin Mawai at like 3K, 4K. He was being sold for the upwards of 25, 26K. So that's something to really keep in mind. And with BCA being money only packs, minus the the solos that they're giving rewards out for a head to head or whatever, BCA really, if you take the time, I know I talked to a couple guys on my Slack and they made 200-300K in a day just by sniping on the elite BCA cards. So that's something to keep an eye on also. Going forward, I know that Madden Mobile released a CFL Legends, I guess you'd say, program. I don't know if we'll see that right away with BCA still going on. Like I said, we haven't even seen the offensive set yet. But just keep your eyes out for new stuff dropping, new packs dropping. If Team of the Week packs come out again today, snipe the hell out of those. that is your best chance for coin, in my opinion, because people really don't understand if they don't know the game. They don't understand that an 81 card, yes, it's only an 81 fullback or wide receiver, but there are, it goes into a set. It can be added into the exchange set. So even if you are not looking to build those players, whoever the hero winds up being today, make sure you're sniping Team of the Week if we get Team of the Week packs again. I don't know how often they'll do those, as it does kind of mess with the Team of the Week market a little bit. But once those go to fluctuation, like I said, John Kuhn, I was happy making 3-4K on. Looking back, I should have held on to him and made closer to 8 or 9K per flip. But that's just, you live and you learn. As good as I am at the auction host, there's still stuff I fail to remember, or I fail to really tell you guys. But that's something that could definitely be used to your advantage moving forward. Also, the other things that going through with this next month or so, we will have Most Feared at the end of the month for Halloween. So if you're looking at cards, like I said, and I've said it before, if you're looking at some of these higher end cards, kind of wait and see. Like I said, if you're looking at an offensive elite right now, wait to see what BCA. I haven't heard anything from BCA as far as what the elite for console will be. I know a list leaked for mobile, but that does not always mean that we're going to see the same cards on console, the same ratings. So just kind of keep your eyes out on that. And once again, the gold and bronze market, it's a little funky right now. I've been doing my best to stay on the cards I know I've been selling for a decent amount. But once again, Jordan Matthews has a milestone collection. The guy from, I think it's Ishmael, from the Falcons has a milestone collection. Yeldon, like I had mentioned before. So there are a few of these team heroes that have the milestone collection. So if you're looking to snipe the bronze and silvers, kind of hang out in those teams, and you should be able to make a pretty profit. I said before that I don't name specific players, but you guys can figure out which teams are going for what amount. So I'm not really telling you anything you guys don't realize. But that's all I have. If you guys have any questions, comments, like I said, go ahead and leave it on the bottom of the video, and we can hopefully help you guys learn and make some coins without spending real cash. All right, everybody, have a great Monday.